So the Season 1 finale had flashbacks from everyone about how they got on the plane. The Season 2 finale had them for Desmond, a character we knew nothing about, so that time was still earned. So who do we have in Season 3? Jack. That is quite a letdown. And this time we even have to spend those 2 hours also looking at his stupid fake beard. He's upset by something that he reads in a newspaper and is about to jump off a bridge, but something that would actually make this worth it can't be allowed to happen, so he's interrupted by a car crash. He saves the woman who is driving the car, which gets the media to call him a hero and also gets Sarah's attention. She's heavily pregnant, which is the only thing of note in this scene, and I hope that was enough for you because this is her last appearance on this show. As far as I recall, she's never even mentioned again. Don't worry, Julie Bowen, a much better show for you is just a few years away. Jack finds that the woman from the crash has a broken back and wants to do the surgery himself. This is right after he chugs a bunch of pills like Pez, so our hero, ladies and gentlemen. And this is all of the storyline we see in this episode's first half, so it's on to the island. The island story begins, appropriately enough, with Sayid giving Jack a verbal bitch slap that he'd better not be risking his life for nothing. And then this.
If I told you that I'd help you with your SOS sign, would you change your mind?
Oh, shut up. If you just opened that hole in your face in the first place, that whole thing wouldn't have happened. This is part of several goodbyes as everyone heads off to the tower except the 3 shooters, Sayid, Bernard, and Jin. And Michael Giacchino gets to show again that he's the best part of the show. Naomi shows Jack how her phone works in case she can't use it herself, but first this.
Is she okay?
Why wouldn't she be?
Because none of your people trust her.
Boy, I wonder why that could be. Anyway, the one important part of this is that a green light will come on once the looking glass is turned off. And how's that going, by the way? Oh, show, it's way too late to try to get on my good side now. This is Bonnie and Greta, the latter of whom is played by the evil queen from Once Upon a Time. Oddly enough, she's the good cop of the two. They call Ben with the news, and he tells Mikhail to get down there. Mikhail briefly brings up how Ben lied to them that the looking glass was flooded, but then lets it go because we can't have people thinking these might not be the good guys. Ryan and his team, including Tom, arrive at the camp, and a bunch of them get blowed up real good. Awesome. Oh, and this is supposed to be where Isabel was killed. You know a character failed when you have to read an interview with the producers to even find out they're dead. But Jin misses his dynamite and gets captured, so now they're pretty much screwed. Everyone else panics over there not being the 3 explosions they were expecting, including Jack, who completely falls apart just like Sayid knew he would. Though this does allow Rose quite the crowning moment of awesome.
If you say live together, die alone to me, Jack, I'm gonna punch you in your face.
No more Stalin quoting for you, Jack. Bonnie informs Charlie that he needs a code to turn off the station, and then plenty of good old others acting like assholes, so you can just consider a blanket where the good guys put over this whole scene. Yeah, they're pissed off about some of their guys getting blown up, but since the only reason that happened was they were going to kidnap pregnant women and do God knows what to them, I have a hard time feeling sympathetic. Bernard breaks at the threat of killing Jin and tells them about Naomi and Carl. Ben triangulates where Jack's group is and accepts Alex going with him. There's a scene of Sawyer acting like a jerk now that he's killed the real Sawyer and is stuck with what to do with his life since it's not like becoming the Dread Pirate Roberts is an option. Desmond wakes up and has to swim down to the Looking Glass himself when Mikhail shoots at him, and wait a minute, the Looking Glass is that close to the shore? I've gone out that far with no gear at all a few times and had no trouble getting back. Suddenly the whole thing about Charlie needing to hold his breath for 4 minutes seems kinda silly. Charlie tells him to hide and uses his natural annoyingness to cover when Bonnie and Greta ask who he's talking to. That's actually pretty clever. Sawyer announces that he's going back to the beach to take care of things, though he specifies that it's really just so he doesn't have to be with Kate, because they finally decided to make it official that everything on the show is about her. Juliet goes with him to show him where the others have hidden some guns, and she and Jack have a kiss that is Daria and Tom levels of awkward and unearned. Mikhail arrives at the Looking Glass and his eye patch is off so we can see he actually has a natural one too, like Martok from Deep Space Nine. Naturally, he asks where Desmond is.
He's alone.
Are you sure about that?
Here's a better question to ask Cyclops. Why did your little friend Ben tell you people that this entire station was flooded when it isn't? Or why these two have been jamming transmissions off the island?
Very good questions. Well done, Charlie. That's when Ben calls, and wonder of wonders, this time Mikhail actually does question him about this. Ben says Jacob told him to do it because there are bad people trying to find the island. And why did he lie to everyone about it? Look over there. Ben then tells Mikhail that he'll have to kill not only Charlie, but Bonnie and Greta.
We're the good guys, Michael.
Jack tells Kate he loves her, and it's pretty amazing that after 3 years of struggling to make this a real thing, they still can't make this moment have any meaning. It's just randomly thrown in the middle of all this other stuff that's far more interesting. Like Juliet reveals the others are building a runway. It would have been nice if they'd kept that reveal in the episode it was supposed to be in, so they didn't need to waste time on it here. She also lied about the guns just so Jack would let them go because she wants to redeem herself for the stuff she did to them. Then Hurley shows up and Sawyer refuses to let him come with them because we're supposed to think he's an asshole now, so we'll want Kate and Jack to be together. Not buying it. Alex gets her awesome on as she completely nails Ben on what an asshole he's been, and also asks him why he can't just let our heroes leave the island, at which point they'd be out of his hair anyway.
Because I can't, Alex.
Boy, what a perfect illustration of how screwed up this guy's characterization is. You know what this really reminds me of? In the Spielberg film The Terminal, Stanley Tucci's motivation through the whole movie is to get Tom Hanks out of his airport so he can get arrested and be someone else's problem. Then at the end of the movie, Hanks' legal troubles are cleared up and he can leave the airport anyway, so problem solved, right? Well, no, because suddenly Tucci feels the need to stop him from leaving for no conceivable reason besides the fact that he's the villain and has to do villainous things no matter how little sense they make. Getting back to the episode, remember when Ben shot Locke and left him in the pit with the other dead bodies? Well, now he's trying to kill himself, which is certainly the ending he deserves. But then Walt shows up, and it's really hilarious how much the camera work tries to disguise how Malcolm David Kelly had gotten a lot taller in the year since we last saw him, and then a line in the Season 4 premiere made all that effort moot, and then none of it came to anything anyway. You'll see what I mean. Anyway, he's here to tell Locke to get up because he has a job to do, and why, no, we never do learn what the hell is up with this scene. It's about as literal a use of Deus Ex Machina as you're likely to see in this day and age, and with that the first half ends.